Supreme Court ruling explained concerning 25% in FCT. See what they said. Breaking news. Hello, guys. Welcome back once again to this YouTube channel. The 25% requirement in FCT is becoming one of the most, if you all remember, is one of the important cases that Atiku Abubakar and P2B took to the Election Petition Tribunal, because the constitution was clear that somebody must have two-thirds of the votes in, that is 25% into 25% into two-thirds of all the states and the Federal Capital Territory. And we've all defined "and" as a disjunctive, meaning for "and" to be used in that context, meaning the person must have 25% in two-thirds of the states, and equally FCT, that FCT is compulsory. This is what P2B and Atiku Abubakar argued and went to the Election Petition Tribunal, which is what the Constitution stipulated, to tell you that apart from that, that Tinubu was not even the one that Nigerians voted for. That in the Federal Capital Territory, a whole ruling party in the person of APC and represented by Bola Tinubu could not get up to 25. They didn't even get up to 20% in FCT. To tell that Tinubu did not even get up to 20% in most of the states in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But Inec chairman, being the criminal Mahmoud Yakubu, had to manufacture votes and allocated it to him, making Tinubu to have about 8-something million votes, which is quite sad and pathetic. For a ruling party, which has never happened in the history of this country, not to have up to 20% in FCT. 20%, we're not saying that APC or Tinubu should win Abuja before he would be declared president. No, the constitution said that he should have at least 25% in FCT. But he couldn't get 25% in FCT in the Federal Capital Territory. Not even up to 20%. He did not get up to that amount in the Federal Capital Territory. When they went to the lower court, being the court of Justice Samani, Justice Samani said that that Abuja is not a special city or state or listen, that Abuja can be considered as a state. We should consider Abuja as a 37th state. And whether Tinubu got the 25% in FCT, it doesn't matter. That it doesn't matter that Abuja is like every other state in the country. But people are telling him that Abuja is not like every other state. Remember, the person that is presumably or presumed to be the governor of Abuja is the president. And there are indigenous and resident people residing in Abuja. That means before you govern people, or probably before you will say that you are the governor, according to the constitution, the president is the governor of Abuja. And he cannot become the governor of a state if you don't get up to a certain requirement, being the 25%, which is what that was the reason why the constitution was made. That each person, before you become the president, must have 25% in the Federal Capital Territory, because they know that you are coming to govern the people, the residents of the Federal Capital Territory. That means you must have a certain amount of votes before you can be said to be the president, by extension the governor of the state, being Abuja. But Justice Samani went and bastardized the country, said that Abuja is not special, that it doesn't have any special mark or probably special preference, anything. P2B and Atiku Abubakar took this case to the Supreme Court, which the judgment was actually given today, and it was quite sad. I'm going to show you what the Supreme Court said, and look at the way they've actually destroyed and bastardized our constitution. Now look at what the Supreme Court said without wasting your time. The Supreme Court, instead of the Supreme Court to look at the merits of the cases and the argument that P2B and Atiku Abubakar's lawyer brought before the Supreme Court, because they've collected billions and trillions of naira and dollars in their accounts, they decided to give this rogue judgment without even, as a matter of fact, looking at the merits of this case. They went ahead to give a rascal judgment. They said requirement of fulfilling section 134(2) of the constitution on 25% in the FCT. The judges said, in their own words, they said, to be very honest, I do not see anything wrong with the above decision after reading the decision of the lower court treating FCT as one of the states. What they did was they went and brought the judgment given by Justice Samani and read it. That is the lower court where they gave that judgment. And look at what they said, that to be honest, I do not see anything wrong with the above decision after reading the decision of the lower court. They went for that to say that if a person secures all votes, if a person secures all the votes from the state and fails to secure 25% in FCT in a strong voice, are we now saying that he cannot be president? The decision of the lower court is unassailable, and I resolve this issue against the appellants, that is against P2P and Atiku Abubakar. They did not even look at the merits of and the reason why the drafters, the people that drafted the constitution, use the word "and", because they're supposed to use "and" or probably use a word including FCT instead of using the "and". The "and" is a disjunctive word, meaning that the two conditions must be met before the person will be made the president or anything. But look at what the Supreme Court just did, upholding the rascal judgment that was given by Justice Samani, and look at how they bastardized, destroyed, and useless this constitution. just because they've collected billions of naira in their account. But they should know one thing, that they eat the money, but the precedents that they've set is going to affect their children and their unborn children and their children to come. And that is why the obedient and people and well-meaning Nigerians are saying that why not give a judgment that will clarify this? Why not give a judgment that will reflect the intentions of the drafters of the constitution? Because the drafters know that the president is going to be the governor of the FCT, and you cannot govern people that didn't vote for you. In every state, before somebody will be announced the governor, it's not only that the person must have the highest number of votes, but the person must have a particular spread across the local government. In this case, Tinubu did not even get up to 20% of votes in FCT. So how can you be the governor of FCT when you don't have up to the required number of votes from the residents and indigenes of FCT? This is not logical in any sense or in any format or in any way. But you could see we are in Nigeria again. Anything goes when they've given a cash and carry justice. Bring your cash, we'll give you justice in your favor. Nothing happens. I can boldly tell you this for free. There has never been in the history of Nigeria where a sitting president did not get up to 25. The law did not say, they are actually being mischievous. The law never said that the president must win. The law never said that the president must win FCT. No, the law stated that you must have at least 25%. There was a reason for that, and which is simply because the president is indirectly the governor of the Federal Capital Territory. And I've explained this before. It is very simple as ABCD. But because of Tinubu, they decided to bend the constitution and twist the constitution upside down and thwart everything that has to do with the constitution. But they should know one thing, like I've said, that history will vindicate the righteous. That is basically the truth. Well, even if they affirm Bola Tinubu, there are other ways that Tinubu will be impeached, because the FBI files and a whole lot of things that are going to be released or revealed soon is very grave and heavy, that Tinubu will not escape this. And I don't even blame these people. I blame the Inec chairman, who intentionally went and collected billions from Bola Tinubu and allocated votes and made it practically impossible for anybody to prove his or her case at the court. And Tinubu went ahead to bribe the judiciary for them to rule in his favor. Well, all these people supporting APC should know that this our country is going down. Look at the way justice is being dispensed in foreign or international nations. You could see that they first of all consider the merits of what was brought before them, not technicalities. But in Nigeria here, we focus more on technicalities and minor issues. Well, like I said, I will keep on updating you guys concerning the summary of the judgment that was given by the Supreme Court.